Hey, told you I was gonna do another one. Um, it's, I guess, the topic that kind of popped into my head after the last one I did, which is internet dating. And in today's society, we all know that internet dating is very popular. Um, a lot of people are so busy, or they're not finding what they're looking for in the state they live in, or the city they live in, or whatever. Um, so they find love on the internet. I always see a ton of questions like, is it possible to find love on the internet? And my answer to that, of course, is yes. Because I found my boyfriend on Facebook, or he found me. I don't know. Either way. Anyway, so I believe it's totally possible, and I guess the reason why is obviously I met my boyfriend on Facebook. I oh God, I think everybody has had some horrible internet meetings or dates or whatever. Because on the internet, unfortunately, people can be whatever they want to be. And, like, you'd be talking to someone and he's like, I'm 6'5" and really muscular and I'm blah, blah, blah. And, he sends you a, picture or whatever. And you're like, ooh, like, yeah. And then, like, you go meet him, he's like 5'4" and just not exactly what he said he was. And that can definitely be disappointing, and I think it happens a lot. The internet is a way for people to be who they normally are, which sucks because it's deceitful and stuff. But anyway, I remember when the internet kind of was new. God, I'm old, huh? Anyway, and this is before they had like pictures, so like camera phones and digital cameras that were really, people could afford. But I remember, like, in order to put a picture on the internet, you had to have a scanner. Not everybody had a scanner. So you were just kind of like meeting people. They didn't have a picture. They would tell you what they look like or whatever, and everything. So anyway, oh God, I can't even remember how many times I have met people. And when I was younger, I was super shallow. Okay, I admit it. It's horrible. It's not cool. But I was super shallow. If you weren't good looking or attractive to me, there was no way in hell I was gonna date you. And to top it off, when I was younger, I was a bitch. Like, I didn't have a filter. I didn't care if I hurt your feelings or whatever. You were gonna hear the truth come out of my mouth. And God, it's embarrassing to say now, Anyway, one of my biggest things I have, and I'm going to tell you about a disaster horror date from the internet. I met this guy, and anyway, I'm big on teeth. Like, and I don't care if they're a little crooked, whatever, here and there, whatever. But if you're missing teeth, we have a problem. I can't do it. I mean, especially like in the front or whatever. That's just a huge pet peeve of mine. So anyway, I meet this guy, and I ask that question. I give people the opportunity, and this is when I was younger, mind you. So the things that I may have said to him, you're gonna be like, oh my God, what a bitch. I was a bitch back then. Anyway. So I made sure I asked this guy, like, how are your teeth? Or whatever, because that's important to me. Anyway, he was like, oh, well, I might have a cavity or whatever, but it's not a big deal. I'm like, okay, well, I guess. So anyway, he didn't have a vehicle. So I drove to San Francisco I was visiting a friend in Fairfield. So I drove from Fairfield to San Francisco, and to pick him up at his work. And I took a friend with me because that's the safe thing to do. Either meet in a public place or take someone with you. So I brought a friend with me, and she's like, I'll go in and get him for you and whatever. So I'm waiting in the car, and like 2 minutes later she comes out by herself. She's like, girl, leave right now. I was like, what? Like, yeah, why? Like, she's all, you need to leave right now. And before like she could hop in the car and take off, he got in, right? So I look back. He smiles. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Okay. His front tooth was black. Like, it was just, you know, it probably had no, like, the nerves and stuff were probably dead. So the tooth turned black. I was like, this fool has got to be kidding me right now. I asked you this question, like, and you hop in the car with your black tooth, okay? No. You lied to me. Now feel my wrath. So anyway, you know, my friend's like, well, just, you know, be nice or whatever. As nice as you can possibly be. My friends at that time when I was younger knew me as the mean one. God. Anyway, so he's like, you're so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying one word to him at all. Period. I'm not saying nothing because I'm trying to be as nice as I can. So I'm not saying nothing. Okay. So we get back to my friend's house, and it was me and my friend and my other friend, one of my two bestest friends. And, you know, I'm pissed at this point. We're all hanging out in the room and stuff like that. And he's like, you haven't talked to me at all since I got here. Like, what's the problem? I just sat there silently, like, please don't let this fool ask me this question again, because he is going to get the most blunt answer he could possibly get in like 2 seconds. So he asked me again. I was like, well, do you want me to be honest? And he was like, yes, I want you to be honest with me. Like, why haven't you talked to me? I looked at him, I said, dude, your teeth are fucked up. Okay? Fucked up. I gave you the opportunity when I asked you about your teeth. I gave you the opportunity to tell me the truth right then and there. And then it would have been my choice whether to talk to you or not. So yes, what I said was mean. He starts crying. I felt a little bad. A little bit. Not a lot, because I was mad. Don't lie to me. Do not lie to me. So, needless to say, it was not pleasant at all. I pretty much, that was the end of us. My friend that went with me to pick him up ended up sleeping with him. I don't know why. And then he turned into like a major stalker and kept calling her and thought they were like boyfriend and girlfriend. And she was trying to avoid him and ignore him, whatever. Anyway, that was just one. I mean, I've met plenty of guys and actually had relationships with guys in the past. Total douchebags, losers, waste of time, completely. And, you know, my people would tell me, stop it, dating online, you know, that's the problem, you keep meeting these guys online, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? I could go down to the grocery store and meet somebody. I don't know him. Okay, I know what he looks like, but I don't know him personally. And it's the same as meeting somebody online to me, personally. That's my personal opinion. That's how you date. And I know, you know, when you meet somebody in person, you have that opportunity to hang out more often and to get to know somebody, because you're actually physically hanging out. as opposed to online, especially if it's like something long distance where you don't really get to, you know, hang out with them physically. But I've definitely met some douchebags, and however, obviously, success story. My boyfriend, like, now we talked for a long time, you know, and we really got to know each other offline and stuff like that. And I honestly feel like this is really weird, because I know that when you meet somebody like that lives close to you and you guys get together hanging out physically, usually sexual things will happen progressively faster than if you live in a different city kind of far, or a different state. And so, you know, my boyfriend and I would talk about it, and we're like, you know what, that I'm really glad that this is how it is right now, that we are long distance right now, because our relationship was never based solely on sexual aspect or physical. You know what I mean? Well, of course we're attracted to each other, and, you know, we liked each other for that, but we got to know each other on a deeper level. And I think that really helped build a very solid foundation for our relationship. And, you know, granted, I understand that not all people online that you meet online are honest and are going to be forthright with information. I let him know I was crazy from the very beginning. No, just playing, or not. Anyway, so, you know, I think it works for some, but when you're online, you really have to take the time to get to know someone before you just jump into a relationship. That's important, because, like you all know, people can be who they want, and there are a lot of people that are huge deceivers out there. And there are a lot of guys that use women, and there are a lot of women that use men. But, you know, I'm a woman, so of course, I'm going to talk about all that. You know, there are a lot of men out there that use women. I know that I hear a lot of stories from women that guys they met online come live with them and live off them and don't get a job, and they're just lazy, and they, you know, don't do anything, and they just move from woman to woman to woman, using them for a place to stay and money and food and stuff like that. Guys like that, douchebags, absolutely, 100%. You know, I mean, I understand. Anyway, I'm veering off topic. Jesus. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, dating online or finding somebody online can be a wonderful thing, but it can also be not so wonderful. So just, you know, be safe, be careful. There are success stories out there. I know, like, of a few, mine included, and I don't know. I think it's cool that people can actually date online, and stuff like that. So anyway, that was my own little topic, because nobody's sending me any. Hello. Anyway, God, it's super long. It's going to take forever to download on YouTube. Alright, well, anyway, I hope that kind of was a little entertaining for you. I'm not the same person I was when I was younger and mean to that guy. Okay, I'm pretty sure he'll probably never forget me. I know I never forgot him. Anyway, so that's about it for this one. Hope it was entertaining. Till the next one. Bye.